Alright, today is Monday, July 21st, 2025, and this is actually going to be my review of Friday, July 18th. I figured I would do the review today because it might be a doozy. I guess we'll dive into it and see if it is. I had already posted on Twitter a few days ago about it. Um, and it was a messy day. Um, I think there was a lot of overconfidence going on. I'll just kind of recap some of what I posted here. Um, a 50% win rate today, or Friday, I should say. A lot of learning opportunities, and we'll kind of jump into that later. I think days like this where it's so difficult to get those couple ticks, and you're really working for it. Um, and honestly, that's been the last few days too. But especially on Friday, I felt it was tough. The price action was very manipulated, and on a day like that, I think there's a lot to be learned. I'm gonna be sipping my coffee throughout this. Overconfidence. I've been learning volume price analysis over the last week, um, and the problem with volume price analysis, while it is an incredible tool, it does make you want to. The signals are virtually unlimited. Like you could find a signal in pretty much any fucking candle. And Anna Culling, who wrote the book, A Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis, she talks about how in her early years it was really tough for her to be selective. She would just want to hit on every opportunity that presented itself, every pattern, every doji, and she learned very quick that you need to be a lot more selective. And I think that was my issue on Friday. And then I go into nuances. I go into a little bit of the trades, but I'm going to cover that in this video, so I won't read too much on it. Yeah, so let's jump into that. Let's jump into the trades. I will also be annotating these trades and tagging them. So this is the first one. I'm going to put volume on because I do want to listen to myself. And let's see how this trade goes.
Oh, what do I gotta do? I gotta make a fucking agreement.
I just took a short here on 38.
You're short?
Yeah. My checklist is screaming continuation at me.
Still on delayed data here. Your agreement has not been submitted.
Took 3 ticks on it. Alright, that was a solid trade. I like that one a lot. I'm going to annotate it. So I'll do the print screen here. Hopefully my recording will pick up all of this. I guess we'll find out after the video. So, first things first, we've got a nice little slip range here. Change that to yellow if I can. Yellow, square, slip range. And then I need to put my text in. This is the 1 second. This is the 30 second. And this was a short plus 3 ticks. Slip range here. My entry roughly was actually Is there any way I can change this? I don't suppose there is. That's okay, we'll make do. Arrow. My entry was here, roughly. My exit was here, roughly. My exit, my entry. In hindsight, could have held a little longer. I think afterwards you're going to see that it continues down lower. I'm going to just write a little blurb here. Excellent trade. Checklist in alignment. Slip favor. Continuation. Could have held longer. And then I kind of want to jump into why that was a continuation. Let's highlight some of this stuff down here. Increasing volume on puke. And then momentum. Yeah, that's really it. Keep it simple. So then I will paste that into TradeGraphs, upload, and it will be there forever for me to look back on. I just had to clear my throat there. So if I keep playing the video,
I owe them $1 for what?
You can hear Fat Cat yelling at Sierra chart. That's funny. Point off. Alright, so this is my second trade. So when I say I could have held that first trade longer, maybe just another tick, maybe 2 ticks, something like that. I just need to check my phone real quick. Alright, back to business. Let me tag this first trade. I don't think we had any. We did have a high time frame mean, and I think I tagged that in one of my other trades. Let's see. No.
Make a fucking agreement.
Meet that for now. Where were we? I think we were mean favor on this one, on the high time frame. No medium, no mean, slip favor, conservative scalp. Technicals, I really just had the slip. It's kind of a reclaim fade, but I will. Let me do short reclaim fade. There was reclaim to the downside, so maybe I can tick that. Compression, no. This is kind of a continuation. Liquidity area. Level 2, stop run. I think that's about it. Yeah, I didn't really have a lot of technicals on this one, but exit early. And at this point in the session, I was calm and content, but I think my patience was a little thin. I think I could have been a little bit more patient here. So let's jump on to the next trade. I'm essentially taking 2 trades in the exact same area. Let's listen. Take a point off that. Let's see if it'll give it to me. Touch no fill. I'm gonna back it up. Take just a couple more seconds. think that exit was a
I
little
owe them
premature.
$1 for what?
I think it's so funny here in MBL. So we're coming back up into the slip. I'll full screen this. Let's see if lightning strikes twice. I'm gonna try it. Short again, 38.50. Got an awesome fill. That was the
Shorting it and
best
getting fucked
possible
up?
fill. No, I'm getting good trades. Take a point off that. Let's see if it'll give it to me. Touch no fill. I'll take another 3 ticks if it'll give it to me.
I can't.
Took a 2 tick win on that, so I've got two winning trades so far for 5 ticks total.
They have to keep signing agreements with C.
Yeah, I definitely think I could have got the full point out of that. So this was also an exit early, which I will exit early, but the entry was perfect. Same as last time, none, favor conservative. Still playing that reclaim. There's a reclaim below us, and I think reclaim assisted slip favor. I like those kinds of trades. Calm, content, maybe patient, and I was very clear on this trade. Reclaim fade. I gotta punch that into there, even though it wasn't technically on my checklist at the time. This was
Lightning
also
strikes
a liquidity
twice,
breakout, technically. Just because liquidity was getting taken to the downside. I won't read too much into that. These tags here aren't meant to be completely accurate, per se. They're just meant to give me an idea of what's going on. And for some reason these two are different, so I need to make sure they're the same.
Make a fucking
I
agreement.
don't want to hear my fucking price squawk. So I need to get rid of this, and this. And that should be accurate, yeah. Yeah, those are proper tags. This tag is, or this trade is essentially a repeat of the last one, so I'm not going to annotate one. If anything, I might just make a little note here that says same as previous trade. And then we're going to jump into my first loss. So I'll back up a couple seconds and listen. I'm going to try 35 and a half. Let's see if they reclaim. I gotta be tight on it though, because that could have just been a liquidity grab before they head lower.
That's what I think. You need to not take much of a loss if you're gonna go on this.
So let's talk about that. I think that was really important what Fat Cat just said to me. He said, you need to not take much of a loss if you're going to be wrong on this. And I do. I end up taking a big fat fucking loss. So I am going to jump into visualizations here. I'm going to mute the video. And I'm going to practice breath work and imagine myself taking a smaller loss on this trade, because I don't think I want to imagine myself not taking this trade. I think there was some solid foundations to this trade. But for I think if I was to take one lesson from this trade, it would be, if I'm going to try a trade like this, I can't be risking 10 ticks on it. So I want to imagine myself getting out earlier. So first thing I'm going to do is some Wim Hof breaths. Okay. And I'm going to set a timer. I will actually use the journal for the timer. Stopwatch. I'll go for 1 minute. All right. Okay, so I'm rewatching, I'm rewinding and watching the video over again, and making sure that when I visualize myself executing this trade, the moment I'm placing this sell order right here, I want to be out of the trade, and that means chasing. I need to chase the offer, and I didn't do that. So in this instance, the moment I place this order one tick above my entry, and it goes down, the offer goes down, I should be moving that sell order to break even. And if my break even doesn't fill, I should be moving it to one tick loss. And if one tick loss doesn't fill, I should be moving it to two tick loss. The moment I want to get out of this trade, I should be chasing it. And even, we'll let the video play for a couple seconds. When this happens, and I get that 4 tick breakout, it's essentially a breakout because there's a liquidity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tests of liquidity at 35 evens. The moment it broke 35 evens, flat key. If it's not filling me, flat key. So the point of that breathing exercise was to exhale all the CO2 from my lungs and really try to focus on what was going on in front of me. And even for the sake of doing the next one, I'm going to turn on some delta wave. Just that when I am at the bottom of that breath, all I can hear is the delta wave. I'll turn that down just so it's not obnoxious, but I can still hear it. It's still present in my mind. So now that I've visualized it, I feel confident in knowing where I should have gotten out of this trade. And I like to visualize that I did, and then I only took either a break even or like a 1 or 2 tick loss on this trade. And I feel a lot better about it. Even just looking at this chart in front of me, just looking at how this trade turned out, I feel so much better about it already, knowing that I got out for a break even. So, for the sake of the annotated chart, let's see the trade play out. I'm still chasing it. Trying to get out. I should have hit the flat key, but that's all right because I know that now, and I've visualized it, and I'm content with that. All right, let's screenshot it here. All right, so I want to highlight the reclaims first. There's a reclaim taken back. There's another reclaim above us. And the not pictured is more reclaim. Second long minus 10 ticks. This is the 3-second. Got a bit of a slip range here, but I entered after the slip range, unfortunately. Top tick. Slash failed. Reclaim. Slip range. And then 30, 35, 50 was my entry, so my entry and my exit is still down at 33 evens, so like my exit. My entry, my exit, and an ideal exit would have been right around here. Ideal exit. So I think this sort of trade should have worked instantly, and you'll even see my instant reaction. And I think if I'm gonna take one good thing away from this trade, it was how quick my reaction was. After maybe 5 seconds, I put that sell order in because I knew this trade wasn't working. And that's why I red starred this trade, because if I'm getting into a trade and I instantly want to dive out of it, I think it's a bad trade. I shouldn't have gotten into it. The idea is valid, but the timing was wrong. The execution was wrong. It should not have been placed. I think the fact that I did want to get out of it is good, but I needed to get out of it faster, and I failed to do that. And even Fat Cat told me when I placed a trade, he said, you can't take a big loss on this. And I did, which was the biggest mistake of the day, essentially, and probably of my week. I think that not closing this trade sooner was ruined my week, essentially, because you'll see that my next trade went on to be a big fat loser, too. So, let's mark this up as to why. So I'll go text, not pictured, more reclaim, reclaim taken, Flat volume move could be over. We've been seeing that a lot, or we were seeing that a lot last week, where we'd put in a huge move, volume would go flat, and we'd essentially range. And I think an ideal trade for this would have been to enter in this range here, and I will even get my arrow key out. I think an ideal entry would have been somewhere around here. And I think I did try to get in around here. Ideal entry. Yeah, ideal entry would have been before that move happened, because the slip range was valid. And by seeing this flat volume, I'm not necessarily expecting a huge fucking reversal. I just think this down move is over and we might range for a bit, and I think that's what we did actually. Now that's not a guarantee, because I do think later in the session the volume came back and we went down a bit, but regardless, volume flat could move lower, reclaim taken, more reclaim. Entering after a swipe of liquidity. Move was over. Possible FOMO. Okay, possible FOMO. I want to. I can feel the feeling of FOMO in my chest right now. I'm not going to do a Wim Hof breath, but I do want to just do a quick. So I'm trying to. The first visualization was for getting into a shitty trade and getting out of a shitty trade quick. This visualization is watching the move go and then not feeling any FOMO and letting it go without me. So I'm going to do my best to visualize that real quick. I'm going to do a quick, like 10-second Wim Hof. Yeah, I already feel much better about that. I don't have any more of that female FOMO sensation. I do have female sensations sometimes, but I don't have any more of that FOMO feeling in my chest. That feeling's gone, and I visualized this move happening. I tried to visualize. I should go back and replay the video, but I do like having all these visual aids here. I visualized this candle breaking out and thinking to myself, that was a good opportunity, but I missed it, and that's okay. Because there's so many opportunities. Opportunities are plentiful. This tiny little move right here is not going to make or break my entire day. I can easily let this go and catch the next opportunity. And that's what I visualized myself doing. So let's get this copied into the journal. So this was a red star. I'm going to put chasing and fear because I was afraid of missing the move. After this trade, I was maybe calm. I was very content. I feel like when I'm trading paper accounts, contentment is kind of on easy mode for me. I'm content with taking big losses. But my patience was clearly impatient there. And I was confused. I did not take into consideration the fact that we had already swiped liquidity. My entry was late, and my exit was also late. Technicals, we had reclaims above us. And that's pretty much it. Stop run, I think, was in play because there's clearly so many stops up here. This was an aggressive scalp, I feel like. I know aggression usually means you're looking to hold for a long time. I wasn't. I was probably just looking for a quick point on this, but my execution was definitely aggressive. I technically had slip favor on it, but it didn't really mean shit. Micro mean. The mean kind of broke. I'm going to go favor on that just because there is kind of an established one, and then none, and then against because I'm long now. And I think that's it for this trade. Yeah. So let's go over to the next one. Alright, I just want to take a moment to reset mentally after that last trade. I want to come back to this one with fresh eyes. So I'm just going to look around the room. I'm going to stand up for a moment, look out the window. Oh, stretch my legs a little bit. And feel abundance. I think that's the feeling I want most from this review. I want to feel abundant. All right. Okay, I feel good. Oh, let's get back to it. So, into my next trade, I'm going to back up a couple frames so I can listen to my voice. And let's see. No fill on that.
They need to be okay, they need to be printing 31. I would probably posture, don't rush it. What did you get in?
I got it, 32.50. Alright, I'm going to pause here. For context, this ended up being a 7-minute hold. I'm not going to let the video play for 7 minutes. I'm going to skip around a little bit. But I will try to listen to some of my audio cues throughout. So it might sound a little weird as I skip through this here. Break even on it. Alright, so this is important. I'm trying to get a break even. And for the sake of consistency, I want to visualize myself chasing the bid. So kind of like last trade where I entered and I almost immediately knew that it was a bad trade, and I tried to get out of it, but I couldn't. I didn't chase aggressively enough. I can feel that anxiety coming back. Which is good. I want I want to feel these emotions. I want to relive it. It's a good thing. I like feeling these emotions again. If I get into a trade and anything about the trade is telling me this is bad, I should look to get out of it, I don't want to pussyfoot with that idea. I don't want to, maybe I'll get a tick, maybe I'll get 2 ticks, maybe I'll get a break even. No, if for whatever reason I am in a trade and within a couple seconds I think I need to get out of this, I want to chase the bid or the offer aggressively. I want every one of my orders to be on the bid or the offer the entire time. Like I don't want to take it off of it. Now, I could just flat key it, but the problem with that is I could eat the spread, and there are instances where excuse me, if I'm chasing the bid or the offer, not only am I going to get a better fill, so instead of taking a 4 tick loss, I might only take a 1 or 2 tick loss, which is a big fucking difference. The EV might shift while I'm trying to get out of it, which gives me the opportunity to kind of play with it and try to catch. Like if I'm watching the Dom and it's dancing in a certain way, we're in like a micro slip range where it's like bouncing 3 or 4 ticks. I can try to leverage and get that extra tick out of it so that I'm only taking a 1 tick loss as opposed to like a 4 or 5 tick loss. I want to get good at that. That's a skill. But what I do here and what I did in the last trade was I just click and then I wait. I wait for the offer for the market to fill me, and that's not good enough. If I'm trying to actively get out of a trade, I need to take it seriously. I need to constantly be hovering over the bid offer, depending if I'm long or short, and I need to be playing the Dom. I can't just set an order and walk away and hope it fills me. So let's do a visualization on that. I'm going to visualize myself chasing the bid and trying to get out of this trade more aggressively. I've got my watch on. I'm just going to wait until it hits the 30-second mark, and then I'm going to Wim Hof for 30 seconds. Starting now. I got it, 32.50. Looks a little bit like compression. I'm going to take the break even on it. Looks a little bit like compression. I'm going to take the break even on it.
Did you get it?
Not yet. I'm trying to put 1 tick on it.
Did you get it?
Not yet. I'm trying to put 1 tick on it. A little bit like compression. I'm going to take the break even on it.
Did you get it?
Not yet. I'm trying to put 1 tick on it. God, I already feel so much better about it. So I try to visualize myself, and I specifically listened to the audio cues. There's an audio cue in there of Fat Cat asking me, "Did you get it?" And I say, "No, I'm trying to get the tick on it." And you can hear it in my voice that I'm disappointed. Like, that is not a high energy, enthusiastic chronic. That is a low energy, regretful, like worried chronic. I can hear it in my own voice. And during that visualization, I tried to imagine myself saying, "Yes, I did get it," or like, "Yes, I took a 2 tick loss on it," or a 3 tick loss by chasing the bid. I even have a hotkey for chasing the bid. Oh fuck, excuse me. I have a hotkey that lets me move my bid, or it lets me move my it lets me move my long orders, and it lets me move my short orders with a hotkey. And I imagine myself pressing that hotkey and moving it up. So for example, let's just say, fuck, I'm sneezing like a motherfucker today. So let's play it. I imagine myself trying to take the break even, and then I move it up right here, and then I move it up right here.
Did you get it?
Not yet. And I say yes, yes, I got 2 tick loss on it. You know, so this trade ended up being a 12 tick loss, and imagining myself taking 3 ticks loss on it. I can make 3 ticks. That's easy to recover from. I cannot recover from 12 ticks. That's a whole session for me, essentially. So there's a huge difference between taking a 3 tick loss and taking a fucking 12 tick loss. So let's continue watching the video a little bit.
Yeah, man, you got into a fucking shady area, dude.
So you hear what he just said. He said you got into a shady area, and he's talking about this little block right here. We're downward compressing off a move, and we print this tiny little slip range that's kind of compressing. It's getting lower highs, but it's getting lower lows. And I enter basically on the edge of it, and it breaks out. So he says you got into a shady area because I'm entering short at low of day on a compression, which the market lately over the last couple of weeks has been very slip heavy. So the chances of this slipping against me are very high. I got in at a very poor area, is what he's saying.
Because, like, I told you it was a pinch.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta wait for these sons of a bitches to come out.
Yeah.
And if they hold huge dip.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what happens. So this part of the trade is important because I think we're going into the period where the trade did go in my favor by quite some ticks. I think I got 5 or 6 ticks MFE on it, and I should have bankrolled. I should have taken the 3 or 4 ticks realistically that it would have given me, but I didn't because I had that hope. And this is a pretty good example of how in one trade you can have fear, or hope rather. You can have hope over here that it's not going to hit your stop, and then when it goes in your favor, you have fear that it's going to come back against you. And I was experiencing both those emotions. I've already eaten fucking 9 ticks of drawdown on it. So that was me justifying holding by saying I've already eaten 9 ticks of drawdown. It came up and touched my stop by 1 tick, so I may as well hold it, which is horrible. That's a horrible mindset. Just because I eat 9 ticks of drawdown on something doesn't mean that I shouldn't take the break even or one or two ticks profit. I think at this point I was fatigued. I had been trading for a couple hours at this point. And it was kind of self-sabotage in a microcosm. I just wanted it to be over. Like, I wanted the session to be over, you know. And if I could get one huge, big win out of it, then my session's over, and I'm green on the day. And then I can go post my P&L on Twitter and be really happy and have a good weekend. But that's not what ended up happening. I had a worse Friday, and I had a worse weekend, and I had to do this fucking hour-long review.
50. You might get 30 even. I mean, there's so much confirming on it. They're building resistance. You're good. You're good, dude. You're in a good spot.
So Fat Cat here says, "You're good, dude. You're good. You're in a good spot." And to be fair, he is playing a very challenging game of mentoring me, where he either has to say, "This is a shitty trade. Don't take it," or "You're in a great trade. Push it." And there's a middle ground. He can't be saying one thing or the other in every scenario, because then he's trading for me and I'm not learning. I have to make my own mistakes and stuff like that. that's the reason why this trade is a yellow star and not a red star, is because the idea was, I think, very valid. It was just executed poorly. Had I gotten in around 34, this would have been probably an A-plus trade or very close to it. I had a lot of signals working for me. Me and Fat Cat were both in agreement that 30s was probably going to get taken. If I was in at 34s, that's 4 fucking points. That would have been a huge trade for me. But now I'm kind of in the middle of it, and you'll see later that the 30s never ends up hitting. Which, if I'm at 34 and I'm expecting 30s, I'm gonna take it off at 31, 32, and that price hits multiple times in the video. You'll soon see.
See, you got into that too early, dude.
Yeah.
I need you to really pay attention to those dojis and let them like really be support and resistance. Now they're putting in something here. It could be a floor. If they can breach through this on the bottom side, you're gonna be pretty good for now. Okay, you're good for now.
There's the
Dead zone. They're now start covering the dom.
Yeah.
Look for an overshoot through 30. There could be hardcore dumping. We'll see. Now, obviously, there's some fuckery going on here. We could also do like. That again.
Alright, so I think this is another important part of the video that I'm going to try and visualize. When I was doing slip drills, we made the very important observation that I should be taking the first pop. The first pop in my favor, meaning the first sudden jolt of price in my favor, should be where I'm getting out for scalps. And my expectation on all trades should be scalps. I mean, this, as good as this idea was, I think it's really good in hindsight. I don't think it's that great in the moment. I think it's worth a scalp, and that was my intention when I entered the trade, was for a scalp. So, I'm going to visualize myself taking the trade off at the first pop. I'm going to wait for my watch to hit the 12 hand, and then I'm going to Wim Hof for 30 seconds. Starting now.
I need you to really pay attention to those dojis and let. They're now.
I feel a lot better about that. I don't want to get in the habit of overlapping my visualizations. I already visualized once on this trade, and the visualization was getting out of it. However, I do think it's important that I visualize, you know, I'm in a bad trade and now it's working. I should be getting out at bankrolling, especially since I just took a big loss. Bankroll, bankroll, bankroll. I need to make sure that I'm bankrolling after a big loss like that. Let's continue a little bit. Now it's back against me. And I don't think it goes in my favor again. I think it's just keeps compressing against my entry. Yeah, and that's where it gets taken. So I want to go back to the entry. I think here, yeah, this is a good spot to screenshot. So let's screenshot this. Get another annotated chart in. Second, 30-second, short, minus 12 ticks. Let's get some arrows. This is my entry. This is my my ideal entry. Should be about right here. I think this is pretty realistic. My ideal exit should have been on this bottom low break here. And my actual exit was 35.50, I think. So 35.50. So this is my entry. This is ideal entry. This is ideal exit, and this is my exit. So ideal entry, ideal exit. Look at the hold time on that. That's only 15 seconds. And I would have got 3 points out of that. Almost. So 3.5 points. Or 2.5 points, sorry. Which is a 10-tick win. That would have fixed my big loss. And easy too. It's not like I'm fighting for this trade. This is easy. I got slip favor. I'll even draw the fucking slip range. There's a slip range developing here. There is a compression. Compression. Slip range. That looks good. What was volume? Volume was telling me. Volume still flat. Small spikes. Confirming. Down move. Okay. I think that's it. Let me type a little summary. Let me highlight the pinch here. Text. Pinch. Entered a wrong area. Market is slip heavy. Therefore, price is likely to slip against expected move. Slip favor. Entry would have been A+. Alright, I think that's good. So let's post that in there. Upload. Let's tag. So these should have been roughly the same as these ones. So let's go reclaim fade. Partial reclaim, bear trend, liquidity fade, channel breakout. Yeah, because we had channels that day. And this was a sloppy slip range. After this trade, I felt maybe calm, yes, content, maybe patient. I don't think it was red patience like the last one, because I did feel better about waiting, but I was confused. I was definitely confused on this. This was short is favor, none, a mid on the slip range, and this again was it aggressive? I thought it was conservative when I entered. I really did. So yeah, for that reason I'm going to say conservative scalp. Factors of support, I had compression working for me. I had a liquidity area working for me. I think that's about it. My entry was early, and my exit was late. And I think that's it. I think that's my my review for the day. I think I feel so much better about it after the fact. I think my biggest issues this day, which I did not know until after I reviewed, by the way, was just entering at the wrong areas and not getting out of trades fast enough. You know, like I thought, feeling that anxiety come back. I just gotta breathe for a second. So I thought, when I sat down to do this review, I assumed that my problem today was like, I don't know. I don't really think I thought about what my problem was. I mean, if I look at my post, I think it was a lot of technical shit. Like, I thought I was misreading stuff and impulsively entering into things, but I kind of wasn't. My problem was just execution. Like, I wasn't getting out of bad trades quick enough, and I think that was kind of like greed, and just like stupidity. Like, I wasn't on both of these trades. I was confused because I had missed important context. The important context I missed here was the pinch. The important context I missed here was that we swiped this liquidity. So it's not really that I did anything wrong. It's just that I wasn't paying attention. I missed important context. Maybe what I might do here is I'm going to change this to mistakes. And then I'm going to add one for context miss. So let's go back here. And for this one, I will take context miss and context miss. Yeah. Because that's essentially what happened. I think I did a great job of trading otherwise. I just missed the context, and when I realized my mistake, I didn't get out fast enough. That's really, if I was to take away one, because I'm always going to miss context. That will always be a problem as a trader. Granted, my goal should be to do it less frequent, which is a work in progress, but the easily avoidable mistake this day would have been to get out of my losing trades as soon as possible. Just click, get out of the trade, chase the bid, chase the offer, whatever you have to do. Once I realized it was a mistake, just get out. And I failed to do that, but now through this review, I know that, and I didn't know that before, and now I do, which is why this fucking review is so important. So, that's my session. This review was important to me on a lot of different levels. I learned a lot from it, and I look forward to the next day that I have a fucking red day so that I can do another detailed review like this.